Hello everyone. So today we are going to be studying about one of the most important topics in dentistry, something that we use on a day-to-day basis in clinical diagnosis as well. As you've already seen the topic, it is classification of malocclusion. Now let's see what's the definition of malocclusion. A malocclusion is a malalignment or incorrect relation between the teeth of the two dental arches when they approach each other as the jaws close. Malocclusion can be broadly classified into, so there are three classifications under which malocclusion fall into, that is intra-arch, inter-arch and skeletal. So intra-arch means nothing but when the malocclusions that include variations in individual tooth position and malocclusions affecting a group of teeth within an arch. So intra-arch already means that it is all within one jaw, either maxillary or mandibular. So either the tooth position may be varied, like the canine may be in the place of the premolar or vice versa, or there may be crowding. So those are known as intra-arch malocclusions. Now inter-arch malocclusions that comprise of malrelation of dental arches to one another upon skeletal bony bases, which may themselves be normally related. Now let's see what are skeletal malocclusions. Those are that involve the underlying bony bases. Angel's classification of malocclusion is divided into three parts: class 1, class 2, class 2 comprises of division 1 and division 2, and class 3. Angel's class 1 is when the mesiobuccal cusp of the maxillary first permanent molar occludes in the buccal groove of the mandibular first permanent molar. Now as you can see over here, it is the mesiobuccal cusp is occluding, of the maxillary first permanent molar is occluding with the buccal groove of the mandibular first permanent molar. Now Angel's class 2 is when the distobuccal cusp of the upper first molar occludes in the buccal groove of the lower first permanent molar. It is subclassified into class 2 division 1 and class 2 division 2. Now as you can see in the image, the distobuccal cusp of the upper first molar is occluding in that of the buccal groove of the lower first permanent molar. Now let's see what's Angel's classification. In Angel's classification, class 2 division 1, the molar relations are that of class 2 and the maxillary anterior teeth are proclined with a resultant increase in overjet. So the molar relation is class 2 but the maxillary anteriors will be proclined. A characteristic feature of this malocclusion is the presence of abnormal muscle activity. The lower lip usually cushions the palatal aspect of the upper teeth, a feature typical of class 2 division 2 referred to as lip trap. You can see it in the image. There is a proclination of the maxillary anterior teeth, and here you can see a lip trap, which is a characteristic feature of this category. Now let's see what is Angel's class 2 division 2. The division 2 also exhibits a class 2 molar relationship. The classic feature of this malocclusion is the presence of lingually inclined upper central incisors and labially tipped upper lateral incisors overlapping the central incisors. Variation of this form are lingually inclined central and lateral incisors with the canine labially tipped. So it could also be that both centrals and laterals are lingually inclined and the canines are labially tipped on them. Here you can see a feature in which only the central incisors are lingually tipped and the laterals are labially inclined. Now let's see what is the difference between the two, division 1 and division 2. Overjet is increased in division 1 while it is decreased in division 2. That is because in division 1 it is proclined and division 2 has retroclined central incisors. The profile will be convex and in that of division 2 it will be straight or mildly convex because the maxillary jaw is placed ahead of the mandibular jaw. Lips in division 1 will be short and incompetent while that in division 2 will be normal. The arch form will be more V-shaped or narrow in division 1 while it will be U-shaped and square. The palate will be deep in division 1 while it will be normal depth in division 2. Muscle activity, there will be increased mentalis and buccinator activity in division 1 while there will be normal muscle activity in division 2. path of closure will be normal for division 1 while it may be backward for division 2. Lower facial height is normally increased or normal in division 1 while it will be decreased in division 2. Malar process will not be prominent in division 1 while it might be prominent in division 2. This is a very important differentiation so that we can, when a patient comes to us with class 2 relation, so we can distinguish between division 1 and division 2. Now let's see what class 3 is. So you have true class 3, that is the mesiobuccal cusp of the maxillary first permanent molar occludes distally to the mesiobuccal groove of the mandibular first molar. So as you can see in the image, the mesiobuccal cusp of the maxillary first permanent molar is occluding distally to the mesiobuccal groove of the mandibular first molar. Now what is pseudo class 3? This type of malocclusion is produced by a forward movement of the mandible during jaw closure. Thus it is also called postural or habitual class 3 malocclusion, in which in this case you can guide the jaw to close normally and then it will actually reveal what angles classification it is. Drawback of angles classification: even though it is the most widely used classification, it does have its own set of drawbacks. It considers malocclusion only in the anteroposterior plane, so he did not consider malocclusions in the transverse and vertical planes. It considers first permanent molar as fixed points in the skull, but this is not found to be so. It cannot be applied if the first permanent molars are extracted or missing. It cannot be applied to the deciduous dentition because it is only pertaining to first permanent molars, and it does not differentiate between skeletal and dental malocclusions, and it does not highlight the etiology of the malocclusion.